Welcome back to the Real Estate Huddle. This is episode 129. And today we're going to be talking about how some people think that the first thing that you do to get ready for your home to go on the market is stick a for sale sign up. And that is not the case. Weeks, months before, there's more planning and preparation that needs to happen. So today we're going to talk about what sellers need to know about what makes sense to do before you list in your home so that you can have the best results in the market. And here's something that homeowners just don't realize. The absolute best time in the market is your first 2 weeks. First 2 weekends will sometimes dictate how your home does. And if you've properly prepped your home, that's when the most showings occur. That's when the most likelihood of getting an offer occurs. That is gold. So we want to make sure that we maximize that window for you if you're considering selling, or just to know down the road but when that time comes for you. So as we dig into this, let's talk about why early planning matters.
Well, that wasn't a super segue there, dude. First on the list of why it matters, or what to do, is this sounds a little self-serving, but you've watched, probably, if you're watching now, you've probably watched this before. Talk with us early, right? This is a big part of what we do, not just pricing the house, but helping you present it in a way that's going to maximize your rally.
So don't call your realtor when you want to list on Friday on Wednesday?
Yeah.
Okay.
Like, I got a house going, right? We've been talking for 2 months. We've been getting a lot of stuff ready.
Sometimes 6 months.
Yeah.
Sometimes,
year. Yeah.
We mean it. Like, yeah, we're real estate agents, and it sounds a little biased, but trust us, this is where we earn our keep.
Well, I mean, if you put it together and you look at how many homes you've walked into to see the emotional response of a buyer looking at something, right? There's 500 plus homes in a year, right?
That's part of what they're paying for when they bring us in.
Yeah, so you see that response. So we know what it is that some buyers just can't get over the mental hurdle, the mental gymnastics it takes to get to what the future state could be.
And that's why, so it's a process, right? So, what's happening in the market? What's different here about maybe where you're coming for where it is? Well, we're going to give you that. It's going to be tied to what's happening right now. That'll start the pricing strategy. How many episodes have we done about talking about the way you can spend money to improve yourself?
Yep.
Right? So a lot of that pricing strategy is dependent on, can we put some in? What's best timing? What's happening competition-wise? We just talked about the data, like a lot of inventory.
Yep.
And then obviously a plan of attack in terms of what we're going to do before we go live. Anyway, bring us in early is a big part of how we set the value for the transaction and get you ready. And
Totally.
the more time we need, the more time we have, the better. Because oftentimes we're going to be doing a little work, some painting and some.
Well, and we can also connect people with the right contractors, right?
Sorry,
Which is
obvious.
huge. Yeah. That's a big one because if you're just you're hesitating to call your realtor because you don't think you need to, and then you just look everyone up on Google for what you think needs to be done.
That out. So that is the biggest source of stress for most of our clients is like, who?
Yeah.
It's okay, we got you there.
And we've worked with them on multiple deals, so we actually, and if I've used them personally, I will say that, or like, hey, people on my team have used this person because we've got that experience and we've got a relationship with them. So, and they're accountable to us and we're accountable to them. So it's kind of a symbiotic relationships versus just a cold call on Google. So
Yes. Cool. And I will just say, okay, no offense to anyone in the room or outside of the room or listening, right? But if you are more linear, logical in nature, maybe an engineer by trade or something like that, call us early. Like, give us a call, because I can't tell you how many times I've come to a house with 2 engineers and they're like, the home is all ready. We've just replaced a 10-year-old furnace because we wanted it to be high efficiency. And then we replaced all the windows and we replaced these 3 toilets, and we've also replaced the water heater. And we're set. We're so excited about this place. And it's like, everything you just did is exciting to you, and it's mechanically, it's functional. It makes sense to do some of that, but there's nothing emotional there in the sale. And so if you struggle to feel like, not to feel emotions, but to have like the knowledge of what sells and how emotions impact a sale and how upgrades impact emotions, then that's why you call your realtor way early on to have them help and be on the same team as you but maybe uncover some of the gaps that you might have and help you get the home ready for market.
Yeah, so if that's the first step, next step is the physical side.
Yeah, and we actually have a client that was an engineer who sold his house in Littleton, and he was getting quotes for windows and doing all the different things. And me and Landon met with him, and I think we met in October, and we gave him a punch list. And come like April, all of that list was done, and we got multiple offers. We went over asking price, and they took all these things to make the emotional appeal there instead of all of the, the big ticket items. We'll just deal with that because sometimes people that doesn't care. 10-year-old furnace, they might be happy.
Is the headline that he didn't spend $10,000 in windows?
Oh, it was $35,000. So
And he didn't spend it.
he did not spend that. So, but
Bing, bing.
he painted and staged the home and tripled his money
I
on
remember
that.
that
So
listing. That's pretty-
Let's do
Yeah.
some math. He would have spent the $35,000 in windows and made 15% return on investment, right? Which would have been about what,
No,
5,000,
yeah,
something
if
like
you're
that.
lucky.
So, so that would have been, he would have lost 30 grand, right? In that case. And instead he took that 35,000 and did probably paint, flooring, maybe counters, maybe appliances, right?
did lighting, paint, a little bit of electrical work, and staging. So we probably spent $5,000, and we got an extra 22 out of the listing. So.
Yeah. So 400% return
That's
instead of a
50,
15%.
almost 60 spread.
Yeah. It's-
Now, a good agent walking through a home is, yes, I'm going to go say, hey, these windows are old or these windows are brand new. They spent some money on this type of stuff. It brings, but the thing is a lot of people aren't looking at those types of things. So it all depends on where you're going to see it. But then at inspection, people are like, oh, these windows don't even open. We got a problem.
yeah.
Right? I don't know how many surprises that's been. So
Well, and what's more painful, paying a $5,000 credit for windows through after inspection, or paying $35K for new windows and getting 5,000 return?
5,000 back. Yep. All right.
I think we know the answer. So the hustle of what needs to happen after you meet with a pro is what's next.
What's next would be kind of just decluttering and starting to pack early. Presentation is really important when trying to sell your home. And some things that sellers should do would be like removing excess furniture, clear off the countertops, organize closets, pack items that you're not using daily, and remove your personal items. I would say removing the excess furniture and removing personal items is like a huge thing that I see personally, because like, I don't know, like religious items or like family pictures, or like some people I see that they'll forget, like they'll have these like iPads out, or like their TV has like a slideshow that like shows pictures of their family, and they forget about that because they're like, oh, I took all the pictures down. But when a buyer's walking through a house, they want to be envisioning themselves in the house. Like they don't really want to know anything about you in the nicest way possible. So
Yeah.
Yeah, they don't want to see your wedding photo, and then that will distract from them to be able
Yeah.
to say, I feel myself living here.
or like strong scents and stuff like that
Yeah,
too.
that's
Totally.
yeah, because every buyer's that's really strong scent. What are they trying to cover up? That's always the response.
So I don't know what the answers are going to be. I'm going to ask the question though. How do you all feel when you see that 1/3 of the garage is full of their personal items, including their furniture?
Don't care.
Yep.
Yeah.
Unfinished space, don't care.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
My
Doesn't
point
matter.
is that is it one way to get decluttered, and a lot of clients are like, but I don't want to make a mess. Like, no, don't worry about that. You gave them a beautiful canvas that for them to envision themselves in, and they know that's going to be empty by the time they move in.
Yeah.
Yep.
They just see the space in the garage and that's it.
They
But-
see that you're on top of moving already. That's
yeah.
so.
But when we talk about the right amount of furniture, it's funny because like some people, they have a huge L-shaped couch with 2 sofas and then a love seat and grandma's old wooden chair all in the family room. And you're like, this room feels tiny. We can just hop from one piece of furniture to the next seat in the house. But like the question we get a lot is, would a vacant home look better? Like, would it be better to just take everything out? So like the hierarchy of that, in my opinion, is, the worst is having way too much furniture in a house. And it just feels convoluted and cluttered. It feels the smallest that way. Then you have vacant house, which also feels small, believe it or not. And then you have house with the right amount of furniture. That's what stagers
The
do,
right sized furniture.
right amount and size of furniture.
Did
And
you know that
nails
couches
it.
come in different sizes? Do you believe that? Yeah. And if you have a 10 by 10 room, putting a king size bed in it probably isn't your best option. So get something that, hey, a bed will fit in here, but let's not make it a big king size bed. So
Yeah.
when you have to crawl over the bed to get to the closet and the doors don't open, it's going to have a hard time
Foot
appealing.
wide bedposts that go up to the ceiling
Yes.
on each pillar. Yeah.
Or like even with the furniture, I think that's why it's good hiring stagers. Is because like you want still furniture that they can envision themselves in the house with, if that makes sense. Like not like a bright green couch or something like
Yeah.
that.
And some of the stagers we work with do a really good job of, they come and assess the furniture that you have, and they like, hey, keep this, move this, keep this, move this. And that way you're mixing and matching and whatever else, but it definitely helps kind of set the mood for the home. So a well-staged home is going to just speak volumes.
Totally.
We've talked about that before, probably the highest ROI of all the things we might recommending is staging 3 to 1, right?
Yeah.
The other, Gabby, speaking on decluttering and packing early, please go through the closets and reduce it down to 50 to 40% of what you normally have in a closet. Reduce it down so when they walk in, they don't go, oh, I'm going to outgrow this house right away. Especially if you're dealing with a smaller square footage house, really shrink down what's in that closet. So when they open it up, it's just a white wall with just a few things hanging for color accent, not more or less for, a shirt fits here.
Man, you're tough. I tell people 75%.
I'm like, reduce it down,
hardcore, man.
So, but if you want to see more white wall, because the problem is, especially with a smaller square footage home that I've seen, is you walk in and everything's bursting at the seams, and like you're struggling to get the closet door open, and everything's just like falling out, and you just sit back and you're like, oh, there's only 3 people that live here, and we're a family of 4. Like, we're not going to fit. So it just automatically detracts from that, because you can't see yourself fitting in there because they're already bursting at the seams.
Yep.
Because grandma's got her armoire in the corner and all the other stuff. So
Yeah, it's true. Well, and then we get to the Blink 182 section of this dialogue, is all the small things, right? I've seen this kill a deal when we
That
go.
was-
Blink 182 is the name of a
All
song.
of our
That's a-
listeners
that's a-
know that song. If you're from Colorado and you watched the Avalanche run in 2022, you know that song. So
I do, and I did, and I don't.
you're aging yourself, Chad.
he can't
So-
remember the small.
I knew
things.
who
That's really
Blink
what it is.
182 was. Give me something.
It's like one of my first concerts that I ever went to.
Well, you're like 15.
I was when I went, yeah. All the small stuff that just kind of adds up. I've seen that kill deal. So what kind of stuff are we talking about there?
Dealing with some of the repairs that you kind of put off, like, oh, they're not a big deal to you, but they're going to be a big deal to someone who's seen this house. Because nothing says, if they're like, you have a leaky faucet or burnt out light bulbs, if you can't take the time to do something that's relatively easy, you don't have to watch a YouTube video to figure out how to put a light bulb in, I would hope. But the challenge is that if you're not taking the time to do that, what else are you ignoring or turning a blind eye to? So furnace maintenance, the roof leaking or that type of stuff. So it just creates buyer confidence when you have those little things taken care of.
Agreed.
But a burnt out light bulb is just like a laser pointer. It's like the cat on the laser. Just everybody seems to focus on that.
We don't agree on that much, but I totally agree. That's not true. We agree a lot. No, I'm a stickler for light bulbs. That's we're talking about sending signals and mismatch brightness.
And the color spectrums.
Spend
And
$33 and get a bunch of new.
if
To me, I
I-
think that sends such a positive signal.
yeah, I realize that it's like in the bedroom, you may want to have like a cool light and that type of stuff. But when you want to show the home, you want it as bright as possible. And
I'm a
aren't.
sucker for daylight.
Yeah, I have a hard time showing houses after sunset because it's just like you're not going to get the full appeal.
Well, I mean,
but,
there's a type of light bulb, and that's their
Yeah.
color scheme. It's called daylight.
Daylight. Yeah.
Yep. No. Okay. Yes. I always try and open blinds and get as
Yeah.
much natural light in. The other thing, light bulbs being burnt out. Don't have a seance in your room. You may that may be the corner, your respite in the bedroom is where you go have your seance with the little dark lamp, but that does not appeal to everybody. So, repair damaged drywall. Like if you've got a door that opened up and got hit in there or whatever it may be, take the time to get that fixed. If you don't know, we have people that can help fix that for you. Get the texture blended.
Because people automatically think it's like, was this a crime scene?
Yeah, exactly. Or, oh, they've got an angry teenager. What are we going to do?
Yeah.
Right. These are going to be horrible people to negotiate
Must be
with.
distressed. You know, it's like drywall is like so cheap, people, but like buyers magnify those problems.
Yep.
For sure.
Service HVAC. I just on an inspection on a recent home, we got I think it was almost like $1,500 HVAC service taken care of on the inspection, because when we pulled out the furnace filter, it said 2021 on it. They hadn't changed it in like 5 years.
They should not put years on furnace filters.
Yeah.
That's their first problem.
Certainly not if
Yes.
you're never going to change it.
Yeah, if you're not going to change it, like put it on there March, April, all right, okay. But the other thing, touch-up paint. Go through and touch things up if you happen to have the paint, but also take a look at the wall from an angle. If you can see every spot that you touched up because the sheen is different, maybe apply the paint to the entire wall surface.
Or your paint color's different.
Yeah, or that's even
Because
worse.
you couldn't find the old one.
So,
Candidly, we notice that more often than anything else.
yeah.
As a former painter, if I take flat paint and I put 3 layers on, it's going to start getting a little shine, and that's usually what happens.
Yep.
So spread it out.
Yeah, feather it out.
Test a very small portion of your house before you do
Yeah,
that.
a
throughout
discreet
your
area.
house.
So,
Because then you'll end up spending $7,000 to paint your whole house.
yeah. So having that buyer confidence when they come in, like if you go on a test drive in a car and there's a whole bunch of rattles in it, it doesn't really inspire you to be like, ooh, what's really wrong here? Same thing with a house. Like do those types of things. Light bulbs, faucets, service your HVAC. I don't know what inspector has not said, hey, this furnace hasn't been serviced. I recommend one. I think it's like a default stamp. It's like a rubber stamp that they just use. So
Sounds short-minded, but take a rag to the top of your furnace.
yeah,
Your water heater.
baseboards. Like just do. If you've got little ones, like give them some money and just have them just run the rag and do that type of stuff. But just doing that little stuff will make a huge difference. A good cleaning, but doing that, it takes a long time. And when you're in the throes of things, it's hard to do. So start that kind of stuff early. So
Yep. Often, well, after you've done all the small things, there's stuff that buyers are just going to notice, right? Like right when they walk up to the house, the things that they're actually going to see when they're there. So what are some things like just overall appearance that we got to address and make sure we handle?
get rid of the spider webs and cobwebs on your exterior lighting. Like rinse all of that off.
Good power wash.
Yeah,
before.
power wash the outside of your home, the driveway. Like if you've got,
Even if it's a thumb hose wash, that
sure,
works.
That works. But or if you've got like 2 years worth of mag chloride, dark streaks running down your driveway, go hit it with a pressure washer, make it look a little clean.
Good call.
And it'll actually save you time because it won't drag into your house and get tramped all over. So
I feel like what happens sometimes, remember we talked about in our example, we engaged 2 months ago, right? So we're working up towards it. But part of the difficulty with some clients is they've been living here for years and whatever it is we're talking about hasn't affected them. Mm-hmm. So part of this is just training their eyes, their heart to think about it differently so that when they now look at that overgrown front garden, they know maybe let's pull some weeds out or put some new mulch or trim that bush to make it a little more pleasant. So part of it is this teaching yourself how to look at this house you've been in forever and you've loved, look at it a little different, preparing for the next.
And
A lot of this aesthetic stuff makes me think of that.
So one thing is, it says front door looks inviting. I can tell you there's nothing less inviting when you go to a house with a barred screen door with a deadbolt, a lock on the handle, and then you open that door and then there's a deadbolt and another lock and you have 4 different keys for all 4 of those locks.
Is this a bad area?
Sometimes, yeah. It was in Parker. Spencer's not here, so it was in Parker. So.
Makes sense. No, I'm just kidding. Like that's if you have like barred windows and stuff too, like I would take those down before you list your home as well. But just little things like that drive perception to buyers in one way or another. But I think those are all really good points. Fresh fruit, plants bring life to the home, so it's kind of a staging trick that I think is really good. There's colors too that women dream of, colors of doors. Gabby, can you believe that? I've heard
Bright yellow
What
doors,
is-
kind of like this.
Like this?
I've heard some women say, I just have always dreamt of buying a house with a red door or a yellow. My wife is
What's
yellow.
the story about Jasmine?
Yeah.
She's like, I can't move in because the door's not yellow yet.
Yeah, the minute we move in, it's going to be yellow. Yeah, that's just our
Once you get
trademark.
HOA approval.
Or after.
Jesse, I want that cut. I'm going to bring that in so we can.
So awesome. Well, let's sum it up here. As far as just how the home once the home looks great inside and out, final step is just making sure that the marketing is going to be professional and driving that home. So I think that the key there is making sure you're doing HD photography, not just snapping shots with your iPhone or an old camera.
It works really good if you snap pictures with your iPhone into the bathroom and you get a picture of the person taking the photo in the photo.
You're wearing like an old white T-shirt. It's great.
Yeah, it's,
Don't do that.
So-
Don't do that. And then video tours are really good, whether it's a 3D tour that you can go see the whole house with or like a walkthrough video. It helps people just get more engaged. Like the old adage of like, don't show them too much because then they won't be interested and they won't call on the house is over. Because like everyone can explore and see. And if like 8 other properties show a whole tour of the house and yours doesn't, then they may stay on those properties longer and they'll be more likely to set up a showing because they're more engaged. And so it's all about engagement now.
the thing that I really, maybe it's the engineering brain of mine, but the floor plan, like the layout, because when you're screaming through a photo roll with a whole bunch of pictures, you're like, okay, yeah, there's a bedroom, but you don't really know where they're located. You can kind of assume, but having that floor plan is like, oh, okay, bedroom 1, bedroom 2, okay.
I didn't used to feel that way, but awful disappointing when you don't get a floor plan.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, definitely. And it's also like the order of the pictures matters. Like I hate it when I have to go through 19 pictures before I get to the kitchen. That drives me nuts. So like give me 7 different angles of your front porch. That's glorious, but I would like to see your countertops. You know what I mean? And I think most people are in the same boat psychologically, even though they don't think, maybe they haven't vocalized those thoughts. But like we want to get to the meat of the house, which is the kitchen. It's the nice upgrades. It's the the great room. You want to see some of that stuff. And so getting people there quickly is big, so they don't lose interest. Because honestly, you might have 3 or 4 clicks and they're done. And if you show the most dated part of your house first before you show the nice upgraded part of your house, they're done.
Well, in our example,
gone.
you've just spent 60 days, repairing large things, decluttering, doing the small things, putting up,
Yep.
show it off.
Yeah,
Yep.
absolutely. Yep. Early and often and different angles of the updated areas in the house. So it's all about focusing on the area because the pictures drive showings. That's what gets people to your house. It's more important than anything else.
What's the statistic? 96% of the people buy the home online and then just go to the home and confirm that? Is that the orientation there?
I think emotionally they get locked in for sure.
And then as long as the pictures line up with the actual property itself, that's like 96% of the time the selling point. So
That's too high. I'm with Gabby. Like you walk in sometimes and smell like
oh yeah, there's
everything changes.
Yep.
no replacement for
Or
going through
when the
homes.
pictures are too good.
Yeah.
And it's like slanted and like the cabinets are just like sticky.
Anyway,
Yeah, for
I
sure.
think we talked about a process. Like engage early, focus
Yeah.
on the high ROI,
Yep.
set an emotional hook with the potential buyer.
And not for anything
Show it
else, like doing it 60, 90 days out, 1, it takes the pressure off. 2, we can work through a plan with that, but you can get a painter in when they're available, and it's not an urgent thing. When you have to do it in an urgent call, it generally costs more money. So there's nothing worse than getting a month worth of feedback to say your maroon wall, accent wall, is dating your home. And I just dealt with a property where that was the case. It was a maroon wall. They got feedback after feedback after feedback, and they finally went and painted it, but they did a horrible job doing it. But you walk in and the paint is still drying, and you go, oh, okay, they finally listened to the feedback, but they also took a $15,000 price cut because of it.
Yeah.
It didn't cost $15,000 to paint that wall.
Yep.
Yeah, and just cleanliness. Like having a deep cleaner come through and cleaning so that the home sparkles and looks awesome, even like the blinds and the baseboards, you can do a lot with a deep clean and a magic eraser. There's a lot that can be done there to make the house look great. So that could be one of the most important things too, so that the pictures match the feeling of the house as you're walking through. And so in conclusion, it absolutely is something that you want to think about before you put the sign up. Make sure that you have a plan and a strategy involved with prepping your home. And if you prep properly with the right style and the right advice and the right marketing plan, your home will do extremely well in the first few weeks on the market, and most of the time sell within that first 30-day period. And so one thing we would love for you to do as you're listening is, if you think of anyone who is selling their home, maybe they're in the early stages of thinking about moving, and it's a family member or friend that you know, please share this podcast with them or this YouTube video, and make sure that they hear about this stuff. We'd love to chat with them and create a personalized plan to help them look awesome when they hit the market. So thanks for watching. We'll see you on the next one.